Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Real Talk with Robbie and Shane, and our guest today, Jamie. We are a couple days removed from San Diego Comic-Con, Nerd Mecca, the hallowed halls of fandom, and one of the most awesome things that comes out of San Diego Comic-Con is new movie trailers. So that today is what we are going to talk about. And first, because primarily the three of us, we are all DC fans, what we're going to talk about first is the big one. The biggest thing that I could have ever imagined, the movie I've been waiting on since I was 3 years old. Gentlemen, Justice League. Now, real talk with Robbie and Shane, but we defer to our guests when we have them on our episode. So, Jamie, talk to me about Justice League.
So, Justice League was the absolute greatest assembly of anyone ever at any given point in time in one movie trailer. It was amazing. It should win an Academy Award just on
trailers alone.
On trailers alone. And the fact that that's not going to be a category is bull. But there is not one thing I do not like about the Justice League trailer. They hit all the right notes. The tone is perfect. The characters, the Flash, Ezra Miller, phenomenal. Cyborg is the only one I was really disappointed we didn't get to see
a lot more of, yeah.
And then Aquaman is probably going to steal the show. I really do think that that is going to be the character to watch. You had me at whiskey and disappearing into mist.
Absolutely.
That's how I want to die.
Absolutely. And that's just how he exits the scene.
Yeah, that was just perfect.
Robbie, Justice League.
Again, man, that is something we've been waiting for a long time. Like, the old days of just all the DC animation movies. Every time we see Batman and Superman together, I know you and I, we really go back on this a lot. Like, why is this not happening as an actual movie? And then there was a time for a short period there where you explained to me that there was a rule in DC within Warner Brothers
that they couldn't play with each other.
Yeah, they had to be on an animated movie. If they were ever together, they couldn't be in a live action movie because technically Warner Brothers could somehow sue themselves. I still to this day don't understand, even though you explained it.
Yeah, that was the thing. If Batman would have showed up in Smallville, Warner Brothers technically could have sued itself.
But it seems like I know a lot of people out there are always like, well, Justice League is finally doing what Marvel's been doing, but this is something we've been waiting for a long time. Yeah, the Avengers was cool and everything, and that's what happens when you get to play with the characters that you own.
Mm-hmm.
It was a kind of they had to pick and choose their characters to make their form of the Avengers.
You're just now getting Spider-Man almost 10 years into the run.
And the thing about Warner Brothers is they have always owned their own characters.
Yes.
So this is the thing of why shouldn't this have happened before? But it's happening now, and it's just a good time to be alive because this movie looks great.
And the Avengers changed things. Like when the Avengers came out, it definitely changed things. But I really do feel like the assembly of the Justice League is something we haven't quite seen because it's not just like a bunch of superheroes coming together. I think it's going to be something very unique and something that we just have not seen from Warner Brothers and from DC.
No, absolutely. And we've mentioned that it's funny because both of you mentioned them. And when we're talking about Justice League, and especially the fact that Iron Man came out in 2008 and laid the seeds for the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we have now. And we're just now in 2017. Almost 9 years later, we're getting to the Justice League. The Avengers are that thing that's going to be in the background. I will say it, and I will probably bleep this, but fuck the Avengers. The Justice League is the thing that I have been waiting on. The Avengers are the pretenders to the throne. I'm watching the trailer and it's playing through my sound system in my truck, and I squealed like a little girl. It was perfect. It was the only thing missing, and he's going to be in the movie because he's already in the publicity shots. The only thing missing is Superman. Mm-hmm. And we're going to see if the end of the first act of this movie is not Superman coming back, busting out of the grave and being like, I'm back and I'm Superman. And like Robbie had mentioned before, hopefully he's in.
Yeah, he's got to come back in the black and silver, man. It's almost a rule because like when you have Superman and he dies and he comes back, he's always wearing the black and silver. You have to have that. I mean, it's in the Bible. I'm pretty sure Jesus came back wearing black and silver.
You know, I like the absence of Superman setting up the Justice League. I actually love that because
the fact that trailer was so badass without Superman in it.
Superman is really the glue. I mean, he really is the glue of the DC universe.
You don't get to any DC character without Superman.
Absolutely. And Superman, I really do feel like Henry Cavill, Superman, did get the shaft in Batman vs. Superman.
I'd like to see Superman smile.
Yeah, 40-some lines. That's
something like
46
that.
lines. That's unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable. We don't need doom and gloom Superman.
No.
We need Superman that means hope. I don't give a shit what the S means. I want Superman to mean that.
Absolutely.
I want Superman to overcome the odds, like a certain person that we all talk about.
John Cena!
One thing I really love about this trailer, a lot of the criticisms of Man of Steel and Batman Superman were that it's dark, it's not hopeful, it's not joyful, it's not, we watch the Avengers and it's funny, it's bright, it's colorful, it's a comic book, and the DC universe so far has seemed like, well, they're coloring with blacks and browns and grays, and we're not playing with a good color palette. But that first picture that came out of the Justice League with Superman in it, it's bright, it's backlit, it's colorful.
DC's heard, everything that everybody's saying about, DC is dark and gritty, and,
the trailer is funny.
Yeah, you have Bruce cracking jokes,
every line Batman has in the movie or in the trailer, except for the "I'm real when it's necessary," is a joke.
Yeah, and it's like you actually see more Bruce Wayne than you see Batman,
and I like that.
And it seems like, and that right there goes back to what I was talking about. His attitude has clearly changed. There's no denying Batman is our favorite character of all time between all three of us here at this table.
Yeah.
And we could sit here and sing the praises of Batman all day. Superman, close second. But this trailer, you get to see Aquaman, Wonder Woman,
Aquaman still. This movie will make Aquaman Aquaman thus far, and they even have the little joke at the end, like, I hear you talk to fish. Like, Aquaman's like, oh, he's the guy that talks to fish. No, this Aquaman's a whiskey drinking, like, mist disappearing, this Aquaman.
You don't go up to this Aquaman and make a joke.
No, because Batman slams him up
or Superman, because they could probably get away with that. But if we go up and say that's a Khal Drogo, it's not going to.
No, I want Aquaman is the seahorse that will mount the world in this movie.
The dude is probably going to jet ski on some sharks.
I
that's
want
to
it,
happen, and I do want that.
This is going to be the movie that we know Jason Momoa's name because
absolutely
he's the awesome version of Roman Reigns, and I love him for it. And in a world where you're 8 years behind Marvel, you have to bust.
You have to bring all your cards to the table. You got to make an impact.
I mean, from the trailer they did.
Yeah,
I mean, absolutely.
I mean,
it's
easily the best trailer we saw in the last day.
Yeah, I can't. It's one of the best trailers. As far as pumping me up and getting me I can't wait for this movie. It's one of the best trailers I've ever seen.
That probably the close second would be the Suicide Squad trailer. It's just because of that feel that they have. It's like the Suicide Squad is promoting. You can tell it's promoting Suicide Squad. This movie is clearly promoting the Justice League. It's not a movie within a movie to build another movie.
Yeah,
this is the Justice League.
The next one up, Wonder Woman. Justice League kind of overshadowed it a little bit. I know I saw Justice League first, and then Wonder Woman.
See, it was funny. I loaded up the trailer for Justice League, and the ad that played on YouTube
was Wonder Woman.
Because I was like, why is this a 3-minute ad? And I realized, this is the trailer.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I actually watched the trailer for Wonder Woman straight into
the ads you don't mind on YouTube. Absolutely.
But absolutely, you're right. Beat Marvel to it, because Marvel just now announced that Brie Larson is going to be Captain Marvel. It's the first female-led movie that they're going to have. And that's going to be at least 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and I think they're in talks with bringing Joss Whedon back to do a Black Widow movie.
But again, we're years down the line, and it's like, no, we're going second movie or third movie out of the box with the new DC universe. Woman-led, woman-directed.
Probably, undeniably the most iconic female character in comic history.
Absolutely, the prototype female character.
I think going forward, Wonder Woman becomes an incredibly important film. It's a milestone because, women are underrepresented in the hero genre. I mean, they just absolutely are. They're underrepresented in the comic book genre. It's Wonder Woman I'll kind of put on the same kind of scale as Harley Quinn. You know, people are incredibly excited because Harley Quinn and Margot Robbie is obviously going to do a fantastic job there. But Wonder Woman, you know, I think everybody was worried. Like, I remember seeing the first concept shot.
I know I
was
was.
like, that's green screen. But when I saw the trailer, I really do feel like they wanted to do that justice. They did do it justice. No pun intended. But it's an important film going forward because this is the hero that, you know, women actually deserve to be on a film. An independent woman who is not tied to any single person. Absolutely. Don't you be on stage. Don't you be on
I don't
stage.
know what was happening.
That might actually be a blessing.
You had
Robbie!
That was Jamie.
That
Jamie
I
doesn't
feel
like
like-
Harley nowadays, apparently. Oh man, I think it's kind of cool too because, like, you know, with Wonder Woman, it doesn't matter like where you come into the story with her.
Right.
It's always different. There's always a jumping off point. So much so, I think it's kind of referenced in the trailer when Steven Tyler. Right, that's not his name, is it? That's a dude from Aerosmith.
The dude from Aerosmith. When the dude from Aerosmith.
Yeah,
said,
man, we are just
Steve Trevor.
We have a very weird combination of characters now. Trevor, right?
We started playing Dream On.
Yeah.
Dream On!
Maybe that's the song they should use in this trailer. So, but anyway, when Trevor shows up and, you know, she's talking to him about the, you know, there wasn't a father.
Right.
You know, it's like, okay, well, they're going with this story of, you know, she was created by Zeus, and, you know, there's just different origins for Wonder Woman.
And most people, I would argue,
So-
don't know Wonder Woman's origin.
Yeah, there was an episode of I think it may have been Fat Man on Batman or something I was listening to, and they were talking about that like years ago. It's like, you know, hey, everybody can get behind the Wonder Woman character, but if you ask them that, it's like, well, where did she come from? I don't know.
The
She
whole
just-
created
she
by
just
clay,
shows up and
given
kicks your
birth
ass.
by Zeus. Like, yeah, it's most people don't understand her character. And I had a friend a couple years ago tell me, it's like, I don't understand why they can't make this movie. And it's very awesome that Zack Snyder is the one creating her first couple forays into the cinematic universe. Because one of my buddies told me, he goes, all you got to do is put Wonder Woman in the Leonidas role in 300, and you have a Wonder Woman movie.
Wow, I never thought about that, but wow.
I mean, she's steeped in Greek mythology. She's the leader of the Amazons. Like, it really is, and it's so awesome that they're finally giving her.
Well, I guess going back to that, I guess my introduction to Wonder Woman, other than, you know, just knowing of her, was when I actually sat down, got into it, and I watched the DC animated movie.
Oh,
I learned a lot more about her backstory, and I really
the one
enjoyed
Kerry
it.
Russell as Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
yes.
and Nathan Fillion is in that also.
Mm-hmm.
He's not singing any Aerosmith songs, but he's in that.
My introduction to Wonder Woman was Belinda Carter. I mean, it was
Right.
the
I
old
remember
school.
2-3 years old. That was the
Yeah.
first like hero I saw on live TV.
Well, they used to
Her and
have,
Daisy Duke made me a teenager at 3 years old.
Yeah.
I'll just. Last one that we have on the Warner Brothers front is Lego Batman. Batman was Will Arnett's Batman was clearly the standout from the Lego movie. Now he gets his own movie. When I was first heard about it, I was like, really? Are we going to, is he going to be able to sustain his home movie? We've seen a couple trailers. The new one unveiled, Michael Cera's Robin. What do you think about it?
Well, it's like I was saying, you have different flavors of Batman. So it's like even during the Christian Bale run, you had the Brave and the Bold TV show. So it's like you had two different things. Like, you know, whichever you can pick and choose, whichever you want to watch. Lego Batman clearly falls in that same, you know, kind of area as Brave and the Bold. It's just fun little something extra that's just kind of there for everybody to have fun with.
Absolutely.
I totally agree. I think I think it hit all the right notes, like tonally. You know, the Lego movie's rewatchable. You know, you can watch it 100 different times, and the jokes don't really get old. I mean, it's really funny. It's well written. Batman definitely steals the show there. I think in the trailer, you know, it's funny. I mean, it is funny. The jokes
No,
are
it's
getting
really
old.
funny.
I guess I'm very interested to see what Zach Galifianakis is going to do with the role of the Joker. Really interested in seeing, you know, how that's going to go down, because it's funny without him. Are we going to have like a really crazy Batman Joker dynamic, or are we going to have this kind of offshoot. What's the Joker going to do? Like have a midlife crisis in the Lego movie?
Jokers, especially Jokers that are voiceover Jokers, there's always that new, because Mark Hamill set the bar so high with Joker voiceover. Anytime there's a new Joker, it's always like, and I'll be the first to admit, Zach Galifianakis is not somebody I would immediately have went to for the Joker.
I feel like he's got range though. Like, I mean, he's obviously, he keeps getting cast as the dude from The Hangover.
Yeah.
But I really do feel like, I've seen, he's got a lot more than that. He does have some range, and I feel like that. I think he'll do it justice. I mean, Mark Hamill is the bar. Like,
Right.
He's not even setting it. He's building the whole damn set.
Yeah. It's just actually Mark Hamill lengthwise.
It's like you buy a ticket to the Mark Hamill show. It's kind of like the Gun show, but with more laughter.
Yes. And one less hand.
Yes.
The one thing that stuck out to me, I'm a big fan of a serious Robin. I really like the idea of a Robin that can stand side, almost, right beside Batman. This one getting that very almost annoying Robin. It's Michael Cera. They're definitely playing it a very certain way. It's almost like the Jonah Hill Green Lantern from the Lego movie, the Green Lantern that nobody wants to be around.
He's not in the Justice League.
Yeah. But I think it's one of those things that works. It's a kids movie. It's definitely aimed for kids. I think it looks funny. The Lego movie was definitely a kids movie, but it could hit that kid in all of us. Lego, and you look at the box on Lego. Legos are from ages like 4 to 99, man. And yeah, I mean, behind me is this wonderful Lego thing. I've got tons of other stuff. I'm a huge Lego fan. I can't wait for it.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, so that wraps up our DC Warner Brothers slate. Join us next time when we talk about our DC television. So for this quick episode, I'm Shane.
Robbie.
Jamie.
And we'll see you next time.